when I first started working on the project, there was no ending at all. There was an idea for an ending, but there was no narrative of the ending, of how it would be when the child was restored to his mother in virtual form. And about 9 different attempts at a narrative had been set up. And I wrote for Stanley, actually. I would quite like to put it that way. A scene at the end in which the kid could invent around himself an apartment flat out of his memory, and these robots who are caring for him virtualize it for him. And the beginning of the film took place in this apartment, and the apartment, which is the apartment that he was in with his mother when she first animates him. And I wrote it so it was remembered through the eyes of a child, so that everything is extremely accurate up to about 4 foot, but the ceilings have no top. And his mother drank Bloody Marys, and this has become like glowingly red, almost sort of vibrantly red, redder than any Bloody Mary has ever been. And when he goes and looks in the cupboard where his parents both kept their clothes, all his father's clothes are kind of very vague and blurry at one end of the cupboard, but his mother's clothes are sort of immensely bright. Every kind of stitch of them is kind of hyper. And he's walking around this flat when he hears a voice. And I wanted to stop there. And that scene of the child, of how memory is absolutely important but never quite real, that was probably my favourite scene in what I wrote, and was sort of quite successful. We all liked that, Stanley liked that. It was, and was one of the very few times when I was actually pulling off the sort of writing that I knew that he wanted. That it was, yeah, that I was writing like me in ways that were pleasing him. That was a very good session. So I think that was the most sort of satisfactory moment in writing terms that we shared, and I think would have just been very interesting to film as well, so it's quite visual. Yeah.